Hey friends, it's Mackenzie Massey. I'm your Southern Kentucky Outreach Counselor with KIA, Kentucky Higher Education Assistance Authority. And on today's video, we're going to be discussing some steps, tips, and tricks for if you just made the recent decision to pursue higher education. If you want to do a 2-year, 4-year, or possibly vocational school and don't really know where to get started, I hope this video finds you and helps you out. If you have any questions regarding higher education, please reach out to your outreach counselor. If you don't know who that is, you can go to kia.com, KHEAA.com, click on counselors. Our contact information, a picture of us, and the counties that we serve will be on there as well. So let's get started. That first P, planning, has 3 aspects. We have to determine what we want to do, where we want to go, and filling out that application. In determining what we want to do, we can think about our strengths, what we're passionate about, think about what type of education we want, an associate's degree, a bachelor's degree, a certification, or diploma, and that can really help determine where we want to go, because where we want to go has to have what we want to do. So once we figure out what we want to do, we can move on to where we want to go. The institution that we want to go to, do we want to live on campus? Do we want to commute? Do they have what we're looking for? Again, that one is huge. Do they have the extracurriculars that you're interested in? So determining where you want to go, what you want to do, check, check. Now we have to fill out that application. You can either go to your institution, college, university, whatever that may be. You can go to their website and fill that application out there, or you can stop by and have an admissions counselor help you, or you can reach out to your outreach counselor and we can help you as well. So we have planning checked off the list. Now we can talk about preparing. This is where we provide all of the documentation that we need to get started by that fall start date. That might be high school transcripts. That might be ACT scores, AP scores, transcripts from colleges that we got dual credit at. Whatever that may be, we need to be able to provide that documentation so we can complete that admissions file. Also, we have to choose our housing. Are we going to live on campus? Do we need to do off campus? Whatever that may be. And we also need to discuss scheduling some classes, being sure that we have the prerequisites needed to start those classes. And if you don't, getting that done before that fall start date. So planning, check. Preparing, check. Now we can talk about paying. There's a couple of different ways that you can pay for higher education, but what's super duper important, and probably the most important thing that you will get out of this video, is completing that FAFSA, free application for federal student aid. 99.9% of the time, in order to accept any grants or scholarships from your institution, you have to have a FAFSA on file. And in order to take out any student loans at all, you have to have a FAFSA on file. The FAFSA assesses so much, but the biggest thing that it does is it assesses how much grant money that we can get. The federal Pell Grant, the state CAP grant, and the state KTG. That's the Kentucky Tuition Grant for private schools. So it's super duper important to get that FAFSA filled out, because if we get grant money, we don't have to pay grant money back. It's money that goes directly towards our education that does not need repayment, and that is extremely, extremely helpful. Also, money that we get that doesn't need repayment is scholarships. You have to apply for scholarships in order to receive the money. You can reach out to your institution, you can reach out to your community, you can reach out to your local library, you can go to kia.com to find different types of scholarships, and believe me, there are scholarships for quite literally anything. If you think I'm kidding, Google it. But grants and scholarships are 2 ways that we can pay for college. Work study is another way that we can pay for college. That is where we work on the campus, and it's money that goes either directly into our pockets or goes directly towards our tuition. I did work study for 4 years. It was extremely helpful. I opted for the money to go into my pocket, so I opted for a paycheck, and I was able to do things like buy groceries, put gas in my car, go to movies, different things like that. So we have grants, scholarships, and work study. That's all money that comes to us that does not need repayment. And then there's loans. That is money that has to be repaid. Loans can be extremely, extremely helpful, but we also have to be smart with them. If we only need $1,500, we only need to take out $1,500, because once we graduate, we have to pay that money back with interest. So real quick, let's go over planning. So our first P, we have to figure out what we want to do and where we want to go. We also have to put that application in. Planning, check. Preparing. We have to make sure that all the documentation needed to complete our file is complete. Transcripts, ACT scores, housing applications, schedules. We have to make sure that all of that is in order for that fall start, in order for us to be ready for that fall start date. And then paying. A couple different ways to pay. Grants, scholarships, work study. Money that does not have to be paid back, that can go directly towards our education. Loans, money that goes directly towards our education that has to be paid back. So, I hope that was a good recap for everyone. If you have any questions, again, please reach out to your outreach counselors. I know that we are very active on Twitter. We are very active on Facebook. There's a chat line on kia.com. Anything that you need higher education wise that we can help you with, we are absolutely wanting to do so. So I hope that you have enjoyed my 3 Ps, planning, preparing, and paying for higher education. And I hope that this video has been super helpful. Bye guys.